Hello, and welcome to Boots to Reboots. Today's remake is one that's been requested a lot by the fans, so let's do this. Let's talk about Judge Dredd. The films are based on the comic strip of the same name, which made its 1977 debut in the British comic 2000 AD. An interesting fact about the comic is that for every year that passes in real life, a year passes in the comic. Judge Dredd is currently over 70 years old with 50 years on the force. In 1995, Danny Cannon directed Judge Dredd, starring action star Sylvester Stallone, because Arnold Schwarzenegger said no. The film opens with some background information.
From the decay rose a new order, a society ruled by a new elite force, a force with the power to...
Scrolling text, something about the Force, James Earl Jones. You know what movie this reminds me of?
Field of Dreams?
We learn that the year is 2139. Our planet has been transformed into a scorched desert known as the Cursed Earth. The country's entire population is crowded into Mega City 1, which in the comics consisted of the entire eastern coast. The traditional justice system has been replaced by judges. They're a police officer, judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one. The film opens with Rob Schneider's character being released back into Mega City 1.
He had been imprisoned because that Caribbean Bastards films are a crime against humanity.
He plays a hacker named Herman Fergie Ferguson, and he's going to be our comic relief for the next hour and a half. During a block war, Judge Hershey calls for backup, and our badass hero, Judge Dredd, comes to the rescue. Nothing says freedom like black spandex.
I am the law! These ones are under arrest!
Why is he speaking like that?
I'm having a stroke.
Will Dredd, Hershey, and the nameless rookie head in to regain control.
No! Rookie, halt! It's under arrest!
Damn it! He had 30 years left till retirement!
The block war ends and Dredd finds Fergie hiding in a recycled food dispensing robot.
Boy, am I glad to see you!
Dredd sentences him to 5 years in prison. To be honest, Fergie is a coward and hid because he didn't want to die. I don't think 5 years is worth a broken food droid, especially when Dredd just caused more property damage than he did.
Movie, how dare you make me agree with Rob Schneider?
Back at headquarters, Dredd meets with Chief Justice Fargo.
You may stand at ease, Joseph.
That's right, in the movie, Dredd removes his helmet, revealing his face, which is a big no-no in the comics. But to the producers, Sylvester Stallone is a big Hollywood movie star, so we must see his derpy-lipped mug. Fargo informs Dredd that he'll spend 2 days a week teaching ethics at the academy. With the cadets, he goes over the armor, the lawgiver, and the lawmaster. But those are just tools. At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters
Is this the law?
But that book never saves his life in the movie.
Yeah, explain that again when you're just shooting people the entire movie.
Meanwhile, former Judge Rico, played by an over-the-top Armand Assante, is given a gift and escapes prison thanks to someone on the council. He goes to a gun shop to pick up a package containing a judge's uniform and lawgiver.
That's programmed to only recognize a judge's hand. You touch that, it'll take your arm off.
And Dredd becomes the main suspect. Hershey defends Dredd before the tribunal of council judges, including Chief Justice Fargo and Judge Griffin. It looks like Dredd is off the hook because of his reputation and the fact that it could be anyone dressed as Dredd in the video.
But twist.
The lawgiver is encoded to the DNA of the judge possessing the weapon. Each round that is fired is tagged with that judge's DNA.
The DNA is a perfect match for Judge Joseph Dredd.
It's a lie! I never broke the law! I am the law!
Stallone, are you trying to get yourself another Razzie Award? Shocked that Dredd could be a murderer, Fargo sacrifices himself and steps down as Chief Justice, using his last request to reduce Dredd's sentence to life in prison, since that he was wrongly convicted, which Fergie finds hilarious.
The law doesn't make mistakes.
Really?
then how do you explain what happened to you?
Boom, you've just been served.
The ship is shot down, and Dredd and Fergie are captured by the cannibalistic Angel family.
He looks familiar. Wait a minute, it's Herschel!
Dredd's life is then saved by Fargo, who arrives just in time to die in his artificial memories. However, Dredd wasn't the only one.
There is another.
So essentially, Dredd received all the good qualities while Rico received all the bad ones.
Oh, kind of like the movie Twins.
Therefore, Rico was able to frame Dredd because they have the same DNA.
Just to be sure, Rico left some semen at the crime scene.
Dredd and Fargo realize Griffin saved Rico after Dredd judged him, and they must be stopped.
I said lightning! Give me lightning!
Griffin is trying to reactivate the Anus Project and convinces the council judges to do so after Rico pulls a Revenge of the Sith and assassinates over 100 judges in 2 days. Low on manpower, the council has no choice but to open the Anus files. Once Griffin gets what he wants, the council members are eliminated.
Who says politics is boring?
However, Griffin won't get his army of perfect judges because Rico erases the judge's DNA on file and replaces it with his own.
The next batch of Janus judges are not going to be the puppets that you want. They're going to be my brothers and sisters, and mine to control.
Dear God, an army of Armand Assantes.
Rico then has his ABC robot rip Griffin's limbs off. Dredd finds a way back into the city and infiltrates the Anus laboratory located in the Statue of Liberty with the help of Fergie and Hershey. Dredd is now ready to face Rico.
Why did you judge me?
You killed innocent people.
The means to an end.
You started a massacre.
I caused the revolution.
You betrayed the law.
Law!
The law.
Law!
The law.
Law!
What the fuck is going on in this movie? Is everyone just trying to say law sillier than the person before him?
The law. The law. The law. The law.
The law!
The law.
The law! Gotta respect the law! Gotta respect the law! Law!
I am the law.
After Fergie takes out the ABC robot, Rico prematurely activates the clones, but they do absolutely nothing. Kinda like my dead mother. Dredd and Rico then battle it out on top of the Statue of Liberty, with Rico pulling a saber tooth and falling to his doom.
Court's adjourned.
That line was terribly dubbed.
With Dredd's name now cleared, he is asked to become the new Chief Justice, but he's a street judge, so he gives the title to Judge Hershey.
AKA Judge Bitch.
Bitch! Judge bitch!
And that is Judge Dredd. The film is considered to be a critical and commercial disappointment. Judge Dredd creator John Wagner stated that the story had nothing to do with Judge Dredd, and Judge Dredd wasn't really Judge Dredd. It's true, Stallone only wears the judge uniform for a third of the movie. Even at the end, he's reluctant to put the damn helmet back on.
I thought this was a sequel to Demolition Man.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Oh, he doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
The action is pretty good, but that's about it. It's a shame too because I think Stallone could have been a decent Dredd. If they kept the helmet on him, fixed the tone, made the dialogue less cheesy, and fired the he-bitch, the movie would be better. As it is, Judge Dredd is an underwhelming and unfaithful adaptation. Who the fuck is calling? Hello?
Hello. Sorry to trouble you, but we're calling to investigate the disappearance of Dr. Harry Arcoitus. He went missing
Here somewhere. Perhaps his car is in a lake or in a ditch covered in snow. Excuse me for one moment, officer.
Please
Son of a bitch!
Please, I miss my family.
Do you want to die, Dr. Oddcoin?
Oh God, please, Auntie, don't hurt me.
No! You gotta shut up! Huh? Try taking a nap, you stupid son of a bitch!
Sorry about that, officer. I was in the middle of pooping.
Oh. Well, I appreciate your cooperation. If there's anything you remember from that night, please give us a call.
No problem, officer. I'll be sure to do that. You have a good night. Excuse me for 1 minute. In 2012, Pete Travis directed a new adaptation titled Dredd 3D starring Carl Urban as the title character. The setting is pretty much the same. You have the Cursed Earth and Mega City 1, which is bigger than the 1995 version and closer to the comics with a population of 800 million people. 17,000 crimes are reported daily, and there's a new drug on the street called Slow-Mo, which slows the user's perception down to 1%. Our hero, Judge Dredd, has to evaluate a new recruit named Cassandra Anderson. She failed the aptitude test to become a judge, but is being given a second chance because she's a mutant with useful psychic abilities.
I wonder what she would find by reading our mind.
Sir, how many people are observing you? 2. What can you tell me about the person I'm with? I can feel anger and control. There's something else, something behind the control, something almost... Okay, Anderson, that'll do.
Over at the megablog called Peachtrees, a former dick-biting hooker turned drug lord nicknamed Mama has some bad news.
We got trouble.
You used all the Mr. Bubble. Mama orders 3 rogue drug dealers to be skinned alive and thrown to their death, all while under the effects of slow-mo to make their punishment more cruel. Today's forecast calls for a slight chance of raining criminals, Tom.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Dredd and Anderson arrive at Peachtrees to investigate the murders and learn of a slow-mo drug den. In a gory yet visually stunning sequence, the judges raid the apartment and arrest a member of the Mama clan named Kay. While reading his mind, Anderson discovers Kay is connected to the skinned drug dealers. Before Kay can be interrogated at headquarters, Mama fakes a security test, raises the blast shields, and seals off the building. Dredd and Anderson are now trapped in the megablock and can't summon backup. To make matters worse, Mama declares that Peachtrees will remain under lockdown until the judges are killed.
Somewhere in this block are 2 judges. I want him dead.
It's now 2 judges versus 75,000 residents.
They are so fucked.
For someone named Mama, she isn't very nice.
Dredd suspects that Mama is hiding something pretty big to want 2 judges dead.
She's afraid of what you might say, and that's got me curious.
Anderson reads Kay's dirty thoughts and learns that the drug lab that produces Slow-Mo is at Peachtrees.
Hey, I can play mind games too.
You fucking bitch! You sick fucking bitch!
Bad. That's a bad drug dealer. You don't make piddle on the floor.
Instead of hiding, Dredd decides to fight his way to Mama, killing dozens of thugs in the process. His crime is wearing that awful wig. While the judges are held up by 2 teenagers, Kay overpowers Anderson and brings her to Mama.
You're so fucked.
Desperate, Mama lets in some corrupt judges and pays them 1 million credits to kill Dredd. While Dredd is busy fighting his fellow judges, Kay goes to shoot Anderson with her lawgiver. However, the weapon's DNA scanner doesn't recognize him and it self-destructs.
Yeah, looks like...
Reach the top floor to confront Mama. She informs Dredd that the device on her wrist detects her heartbeat and if she dies, the building will blow.
It also tracks how many calories she burned.
Well, Dredd has had enough of her bullshit and figures the detonator signal will not reach the explosives from the ground floor. Because he's such a fucking badass, Dredd shoots Mama in the gut, forces her to inhale slow-mo, and tosses her ass through the window.
Movie villains are always falling to their death.
Anderson realizes that because she lost her lawgiver, she receives an automatic fail. However, because she's a rookie who just fought through hell, and her psychic abilities were incredibly helpful, Dredd decides to pass her. The plot is very simple. Two judges are locked in a building and have to fight their way to the villain. There's a lot of great action, and the 3D effects are creative and well done. The slow-mo drug effect really makes the carnage visually beautiful. Fans should be happy that Karl Urban remains in uniform the entire movie and never removes his helmet, which is admirable for an actor.
Yeah, if you play with this Dredd's helmet, he'll spit in your eye.
Judge Dredd feels like Judge Dredd. We also have a strong female character with Anderson. In some ways, this is just as much her movie as it is Dredd's. The villain is nasty and is defeated in a fitting and fulfilling fashion. It feels like a throwback to the great action movies of the 80s. I wish this film crew worked on the RoboCop remake, because Dredd 3D felt more like the 1987 original than that remake did. It's a shame because, like the 1995 version, Dredd 3D was a disappointment at the box office. However, the film has developed a fan following, but even after a petition and a Facebook page campaigning for a sequel, it doesn't look good. In the end, the only thing that matters is money, so vote with your dollar at the theater. Dredd 3D is safe. However, in a boots to reboots first, I think I have to give the 1995 version the boot. Stallone, your movie has been judged, and the sentence is death. This has been Boots to Reboots. Thanks for watching.